Benjamin Netanyahu has shockingly revealed European leaders actually support Israel in private, despite their public appearances condemning the nation. The Israeli Prime Minister said leaders of European nations need to echo the public opinion of their people in the media, but in private, it's a very different story.
I think there's an issue here. And the issue is many leaders tell me, look, we know you're right, but we can't stand, in the face of the public opinion in our country, especially European leaders. They tell me that over and over again. And I say, that is your problem. It is not our problem.
Netanyahu also assured the world that Israel would win the war against Hamas.
Look, maybe some choose to forget October 7th. We will not forget what happened. And we will do whatever it takes to defend our country and defend our people, defend our future. We will win the war, with or without the support of others.
Netanyahu's comments came after he dropped the bombshell revelation that Israel would occupy Gaza.
Will Israel take control of all of Gaza?
We intend to.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said on Thursday he intends to take military control of all of Gaza. The decision comes despite intensifying criticism at home and abroad over the devastating war in the Palestinian enclave.
Well, we don't want to keep it. We want to have a security perimeter. We don't want to govern it.
In an interview with Fox News, Netanyahu said that Israel wanted to hand over the territory to Arab forces that would govern it.
The move has garnered a mixed response from the globe, with Donald Trump reportedly running out of patience with Netanyahu following images of starving Gazans.
And are we seeing any signs that Donald Trump is perhaps starting to run out of patience with Netanyahu as well?
Yeah, Donald Trump is an interesting character because, any simplistic assessment sort of misses some important truths. Clearly, Donald Trump is a very visual thinker. So when he sees television imagery in particular, he understands television very well. And the evidence suggests that when he sees emaciated, suffering children, he is genuinely moved by that and he cares about that. I mean, you wish he sort of thought about it more beforehand, but, at the moment, this seems to be getting through. And he does show signs of running out of patience with Netanyahu, just as he's running out of patience with Vladimir Putin on a different front.
But the international pressure is not getting to Netanyahu. The Prime Minister will not be stopped in his pursuit to take over Gaza.
Let's turn now to the biggest news today, and that is the escalation of the Israeli presence in Gaza. Let's go live to US analyst for Sky News, Michael Ware. Michael, international pressure on Netanyahu to pull back. He's done and he's doing nothing of the sort.
No, he's doing the exact opposite in defiance of the international diplomatic pressure and against the opposition within Israel itself amongst large chunks of Israeli society. Prime Minister Netanyahu has said that the Israelis are now going to enter the unoccupied areas of Gaza City itself and lure the Palestinians out with promises of food in humanitarian enclaves so that they then have a free fire zone in what's left of the city where they can attack anything that moves. The idea is to divorce the population from the Hamas fighters.
Former British Colonel Richard Kemp is a rare voice of support for Netanyahu, who is supporting the continuation of the war and the destruction of Hamas.
Tell us, should Benjamin Netanyahu occupy Gaza, and what does that mean?
Well, he should. He should keep this war going. He should push forward until Hamas is defeated and removed from control of the Gaza Strip. Occupation, people talk about occupation, actually. What it really means, what's really happening is a push now to take over the 25% of Gaza that is not under the IDF control. The 75% is, but that 75% is largely unpopulated. The remaining 25% is where most of the Gazans live. So it's going to be quite a tough battle, I think, given that there's a huge number of civilians in this area. It'll be very hard fighting to try and destroy Hamas and prevent civilian casualties as much as Israel's able to.
Strategic Analysis Australia Director Michael Shoebridge agrees, saying Netanyahu's plan will end the war.
I think the first thing that everyone seems to be overlooking now, as we all see the Israeli military and civilians in Gaza, is there's an active war in Gaza between the Israeli military and the Hamas terrorist organisation. The Hamas terrorist organisation is still controlling Palestinians, killing those who oppose it, and fighting the Israeli military. There's an active war. So recognising a Palestinian state that doesn't exist during an active war between Israel and Hamas doesn't make a lot of sense to the Israeli government, and you can understand that.
And it seems after some initial back and forth, Trump has come around to Netanyahu and is engaging in discussions with him to come up with a plan to end the war.
And in breaking news, Benjamin Netanyahu has discussed his plans for Gaza with Donald Trump. Israel's Prime Minister's office released a statement a moment ago saying the two discussed Israel's plans to take control of the remaining Hamas strongholds in Gaza, to bring an end to the war by securing the release of hostages and defeating Hamas. So that's breaking news, that just in.
Trump also showed support by breaking ranks with world leaders, refusing to recognise Palestine's statehood.
Is there any use at all in pressuring Israel now to come to some sort of longer-term solution?
Well, you could make the case that you're rewarding people, that, you're rewarding Hamas if you do that. And I don't think they should be rewarded. So I'm not in that camp, to be honest. We'll let you know where we are, but I am not in that camp.
Mr. President,
because if you do that, you really are rewarding Hamas. And I'm not about to do that.